morning, Annie.
I'm sparkly.
You are so sparkly. So this is a little elf.
It's an elf. It's
Santa,
an elf.
an elf in sequins.
You got to do it. A blinged elf.
Yes.
And I have my Santa pig earrings on. Yes.
Santa pig earrings.
Yes, they're Santa pigs.
That's so cute.
Yes, because I love pigs. So, we're recording this not on Friday, but I'm going to a Christmas luncheon where I asked everybody to wear their craziest Christmas sweater.
Cool.
Knowing the demographic that'll come, they'll be gorgeous. They'll be all lovely people. I, of course, am wearing the blinged out elf sweater.
I love it, and it's hysterical because we're actually matching in color, if not quite tastes.
No!
I love your outfit.
You can't see my leggings, but they have plaid reindeer on them. Just saying.
I think you should do some
No,
yoga.
no, none of that.
Oh dear. Okay, so get ourselves back on track. We're recording for Friday Crumbs from the
Pop-Tarts.
That's right, and so this will be viewed on December the 9th. Right, yeah. Which we're in the season of Advent.
We are,
but we're just kind of gearing up with some festive colors.
Yep.
And I have to. It's lovely.
She says that in the most tactful way possible without losing her mind.
Oh, you look like a little black sheep with that lovely.
I know.
Looks so nice
it is so soft.
And then the bling, because you definitely are a sparkly girl.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Really
But this one over here has liturgically colored correct nails in purple.
Yes.
She says she doesn't have anything purple, but the cover on her phone is purple.
The cover on my phone is purple, and of course our Advent hangings and my chasuble.
Mm-hmm.
And I only ever wear my chasubles during Lent, Advent, and high days. And so they're purple. So yes, on a Sunday I match beautifully. The rest of the week I just look colorful.
Because we are colorful Pop-Tarts. Just saying.
There we go. We are.
Anyway.
So we are looking at the prophet Isaiah today, which is part of the readings from the Revised Common Lectionary.
Very prominent guy during Christmas and Advent.
But Isaiah was the major prophet.
Yep.
I mean, I love Isaiah. Mm-hmm. He's not always easy to understand.
No.
But the poetry that's written in his writings, and of course, it's not all Isaiah writing it. We know.
No. We know there's a bunch
as we
of
discover
folk
more. But so this is a time in Advent where we hear a great deal about the prophecy, of the coming of Emmanuel, right? And so we just thought it would be a lovely little touch for our readings today.
Yeah. And I think that sometimes we look for, especially in Advent, we do a lot of preparation, but we're looking for signs. Mm-hmm. And today, Isaiah gives Ahaz the sign of Emmanuel.
Right.
And God is Emmanuel. So
we're going to read this responsively. So I will be the even, Annie's the odd today.
La. Don't take that personally.
And then we'll have a little discussion.
Okay.
All right. So Isaiah 7, chapter 7, verses 10 to 15. Again, the Lord spoke to Ahaz, saying,
"Ask a sign of the Lord your God. Let it be deep as Sheol or high as heaven."
But Ahaz said, "I will not ask, and I will not put the Lord to the test."
Then Isaiah said, "Hear then, O house of David, is it too little for you to weary mortals, that you weary my God also?
Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child, and shall bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel.
He shall eat curds and honey by the time he knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good."
The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Isaiah is always a little confusing, but I love the imagery there, you know, as deep as Sheol, and as high as heaven, right? Like that's
vast.
Sometimes we recently spoke about the four winds, right? And from one corner of heaven to the other. But so this sort of gives that.
Yeah, we can see a depth of it.
Yeah.
That it's all encompassing. I think that's part of it. And then, of course, you know, a young woman is with child and bear a son. Okay, we all know who that is, and we all know what that's about. But again, we're looking at the people in, well, Jesus' time, looking back on these readings, because these are the ones that they had. They didn't have the New Testament. It hadn't been written yet.
Right.
So they're looking back at the major prophet, Isaiah, who tells them stuff is going to happen.
Right.
Right? And how it's going to happen. The one verse, chapter goes on, but the one verse that I liked that I wanted to be added was 15. It said, he shall eat curds and honey by the time he knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good. So think, now he's eating more or less solid food. He's been weaned, so he's, in that age. But already, at that young age, he can figure out the difference between evil and good. What baby knows that? I don't know. I was just thinking, not ever having had children, but just, so Isaiah is showing how powerful this person is going to be. That they're going to have that innate ability to know the difference between good and evil. What? How? How? So it's just showing how amazing this person that's coming is going to be.
Yeah, I love how it centers around that idea of signs. I look at you and I, right? Like, so we have signs in the choosing of our clothes about the season we're moving towards. Yeah. Right? So
blinged out pig earrings, what?
And your elf, right?
My elf.
Signs of the coming season of Christmas.
Yeah.
I guess for myself, the red and the white. These make me think of little
Christmas
balls.
balls.
Like, Christmas balls, exactly.
She's covered in Christmas balls.
Christmassy. The nails, of course, purple, right? Yeah. That's definitely for me.
But how come we decorate ourselves more at Christmas time than we do any other time of the year?
No. About Valentine's, people will be out there in flocks in red, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Red. I mean, lots of people were red then.
I think we just kind of go. We decorate our houses.
We do.
We decorate our churches.
Yep.
Like we put out Christmas lights. I know
we never put out Easter lights.
I know.
Again,
What's up with that?
the time of the resurrection.
Yeah, we should be maybe because
maybe
it's dark now. Like it gets dark at stupid hour.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just commenting that the other day.
So we need the light. We need the joy. We need the bling. I always need bling. But
yeah,
I don't know. What is it that this season we celebrate more overtly? Do you know what I mean? Like we're out there celebrating. There's Christmas trees in the restaurants. There's all sorts of stuff. And we're celebrating in church the birth of this Christ child, which we know now is the Christ child. Right. But imagine back then they didn't know.
No, but but there was an anticipation. Right, there was an anticipation because the prophets had been telling them that this was going to happen. Right? So much like we are in this time of anticipation, we focus more on it in Advent because we're anticipating celebrating the birth, anticipating the coming again. But that's the key piece, is that we are anticipating Jesus's return. Right. And we have no idea when that's going to happen. Yeah. As when Isaiah spoke to the people of his times, and the stories of Isaiah were told to the people of those times. Yeah. They had no idea when Emmanuel would come. But they knew that it was going to be a sign of salvation. It was going to be a sign of unity. It was going to be a sign of peace. Right? And oh my goodness, are we not also wanting to see the signs of unity and peace in the world around us today?
Big time.
Yeah.
But looking at this reading, look, a young woman is with child and shall bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel. Emmanuel was kind of a common name back then, and there's probably lots of young women with child bearing a son.
I should have.
So how many people were going, is it him? Is it him? What about now? Is that him? Is that him? Like, so is this reading, did it kind of create like everybody looking at every other's baby boy, wondering if he was the one? Like what?
But I think back to the readings that we've had the last couple of Sundays where it says, like if the owner of the house knew the hour that his house was going to be robbed, he wouldn't allow it to be robbed. He'd be prepared. Yeah. Right? We're hearing about this urgent need. John the Baptist, man, be ready because something's coming. He's coming. Right. So there's this sense of urgency. We should have it all the time.
There's urgency to wait. Does
Yeah,
that
hurry
make
up
that's
and wait, right?
oxymoronic?
But it's true.
right?
It's that hurry up and wait thing.
Yeah. It's like you get there, but now I have to wait.
Do you remember when you were really excited as a kid, and maybe you still do it? I still do it. You're so excited, right? Hurry up and wait.
Right.
I'm thinking of our holiday that we had recently to Aruba,
Right.
I had my clothes out, sorted, sitting on the chair, in the suitcase, ready for the final. That was like a month before we went. I was hurrying up to wait. I wanted to be ready to go.
Right.
I didn't want to, the night before, think, I can't find my... Well, it's not an itty-bitty little polka dot bikini, but I can't find my favorite moo-moo. Right? So we want to be ready. And we want to be ready for the coming of Christ. Yeah. Isaiah is saying to them, be ready, there's signs. So what are the signs that we see? Not just the signs of the lights going up. Like I get here before the light in the morning.
Yeah.
And I love parking and seeing the evergreens and the
lights inside.
Lights. It's beautiful.
They just did that this year. It looked really cool. We're in Southampton, by the way.
It's
very
a
cool.
sign of the season. But what are the signs in our own spiritual lives? What are the signs of awakening and awareness in our lives?
That's why I get paid the big bucks to say this. I wouldn't have thought that. I guess because part of it is all the busyness, like, you know, getting ready. And I look at my schedule the next few weeks and it's like, what up? Even just trying to find time to go for lunch with my lady here. Like, what up? It seems so crazy. And I think you've kind of hit it on the head. It's like, what are the signs within us? Yeah. What are the signs within us? And I hadn't thought of that.
What makes you either catch your breath or stop for just a moment? And I love clouds. I love the lake. I love sometimes it's as simple as this morning it was a leaf that was just dancing across the labyrinth. And it sort of ended up in the middle and it just sort of then sat there. And so for me, it's those precious moments of...
Okay, for me, it was the opposite. It was the sunshine. We haven't seen the sun here a whole lot recently. And I think yesterday morning, or whatever morning it was up. And it was just like, oh, there was the sunshine.
It was gorgeous. There was that pink coming up of this out of the sky.
Like, oh, what up? I just wish it would stay up and I could see it.
See, I have this, so the sun comes up over the cemetery at the end of our street in Port Elgin. Yeah. And I love when I leave in the morning, if I'm leaving at just the right time, I begin to see behind that cemetery the light just coming out through the trees. Right. And for me, that's a sign. That's a sign for me that we begin again. Right. Yeah. Every day we have the opportunity to stop and open ourselves to feel and hear and smell sometimes the signs
and have a new day.
The incarnate around us.
I like that.
Right? And so we may not be looking for a young girl giving birth and calling him Emmanuel. Yeah. But what are we looking for? What are the signs set out for us to pay attention to?
And they're different for every person.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I think that's something everybody thinks they need to see the same sign. Surprise, you don't.
That's right.
It can be different. What enervates you? What gets you going? What makes you stop and think? What is that? Yeah. And that's why I encourage many people that I talk with to journal. Write that down, whether it's a word or a symbol or something that reminds you that day. And yes, I still use a paper planner because I do too many things to keep it all on one little device that may run out of battery. Write a symbol on that day. What did that mean? Oh, hopefully you'll remember what that means later on. But what got you going that day?
Absolutely.
What was cool? So for me, it was coming on last Friday. It was our Christmas parade here.
You went ding dong crazy on the bells.
Oh yeah, gotta ring the bell when Santa comes. And people came up to me beforehand because I had the doors open to the church. And they said, are you ringing the bell? Because that was the best. And we only did it last year for the first time. People remembered that. Yeah. And then I realized we're the only church with a bell right now. Yeah. And forever, I guess. But yeah, people remembered that. That was something that hit them. Yeah. That meant something. Yeah. And for the older generation, you usually rang a church bell. You told it during a funeral, but you rang it during a celebration. Yeah. So, okay, we're an Anglican church, a Christian thing celebrating Santa. okay, there's a little bit of weirdness in that, but people remembered that.
And the woman who's wearing pig Santa rings.
La, la. I'm always, why be normal, right? So,
but it's about leading into the culture around us. You know, you talk about Friday night. So I didn't come Friday night. You were going crazy ding dong on the bells. That was awesome. Saturday I went out to Tara. Right. They had their coffee hour and mini craft fair, and I had a marvelous time. Right. We got lots of treats. But you know what was so wonderful? Was seeing some of the people that I have not seen in so long. Not just our congregation, right? And it was lovely to see them, but some of the folks from the community. And it's so funny because I was looking at, as I came in the building, a keychain that somebody from the Tara area had given me. Oh, probably about 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I was looking at it and thinking about her.
Oh, really?
As I was sort of shoving the keys back in my pocket or my purse, I can't remember. Anyways, she was there. She was there, and it was so nice to see her. And for me, that was a sign of us coming back into the presence of one another again.
And into the presence of God. We're all joined. How did we all meet? We all met through church or the church community or their faith community. And now we're coming back together again. That's right. And sometimes it takes events like the coffee hour and mini craft show for people to come out.
Or the parade.
The parade. Right? Oh man, it was packed. Yeah. But coming together again just to celebrate. And I mean, to celebrate being together.
That's right.
And I think there's something about that. And I think that's where, as I head off to a luncheon today, but celebrating being together. Not everybody can make it. We understand that. And we just lost one of our members. She passed away on Sunday morning. Oh. So, you know, there's some mourning, but there's coming together. And I think that's something that Christmas does. Much and all as sometimes it's too much togetherness. It's like, back off. And I understand that some families, like even my own, they get smaller, right? So we don't get together with the 35 people and have a turkey the size of whatever. But it's just even thinking about those two. It is. And knowing
and peace together. And unity, right? Peace and unity are pieces wrapped up in this Advent journey. I think of, you know, the first candle was hope. The second candle was peace. And then this week's candle will be joy. Oh, okay. Right? And I never know the order. Peace, hope, peace, joy, love. Doesn't make sense. I know. But that's just how we always do it. But I think one of the things I said on Sunday was that even with Jesus's first breath, as that vulnerable wee baby, he breathed in compassion and breathed out peace.
I love that.
Right? And we are called to breathe in compassion and breathe out peace. Even as we move to this third week of Advent, where the focus is joy, the joy that Mary felt, right? As well as a lot of those other feelings that she would have been feeling. Boy, oh boy, it was a scary time, right? But the joy of how a brand new mother would feel with hearing that first breath of a child, right?
Breathe in compassion.
And breathe out peace. And that peace will unify us.
I think that is an absolutely beautiful summation.
There we go.
Of purple nails and bling.
There we go. So that's right. So our sequence elf.
Thank you.
Yes. I hope you have a fabulous day.
That'd be fun.
And I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing many of you at church, whether it's in person or online. And yes, continue to look for those signs of God's coming, right? The coming of God's kingdom, as it breathes over us, and leads us with love into a future that looks a little different than this one.
In with compassion, out with peace.
Take care. God bless. See you next week. Bye.